Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Estancia Lapacho here in Paraguay, and I'm just inching the train forward to load up a little bit more of the crop because we've still got a reasonable sale going on. We've got 130,000 litres left in there, which means that we'll be able to sell the rest of the sugarcane that we got in storage because it's 281 at the moment, which I think is about as good as it's going to get. It's going to start dropping after that, and I don't really want to keep it any longer. I figure we just whip it up there, sell it, and then it's job done. We don't have to worry about it anymore. My weekly random event this week was that our animals have escaped. Yet again, we really do need to do something about the fences. The animals escaped last week and we had to plough up half the field. And we had a machine damaged. No, that was the week before. Last week we had the big bud breakdown. The week before the animals escaped. Well, now the animals have escaped again. So we really must do something about the fences. But yeah, they escaped. They ran amok, they damaged some crops, and then I've had to pay out, so I ended up having to pay some money. I can't remember exactly how much. I think it was 10 grand that I've had to pay. But yeah, I've made an adjustment in the total. I mean, to be honest, it's not really something that we've noticed. We got so much money at the moment that 10,000 hasn't really affected our income all that much. It's not really something that's hurt us a great deal. But, nevertheless, it did happen, so we do have to be aware of the fact that our animals keep escaping, and we probably don't want them to. Now, I'm going to take a look up here, and over here with the pigs, we were talking about what we're going to do with these pigs up here. We're going to be activating them soon, and by activate, I mean put water and food and stuff like that in for them. A number of people, I said that I would put a few buildings over here. A number of people have commented last week about where we should put our buildings and stuff. And a lot of you agreed that we should put them in the field here. We don't want to be putting them over there or over there because, quite frankly, it's going to spoil the look of that one over there. And it didn't seem right. It just seemed wrong doing it like that. So if I just take a quick look in here, we go into placeables like this. And I had one down here. I had that one there, the multi-storage no, it wasn't that one, it was that one there for the separate grains. But there are some other ones as well that are available, and we've got some different storage types. And a number of you suggested that I should use this. I think there's one by Black Sheep Modding that I may not even have here at the moment. And you suggested that I should be using that one instead of this one here, because I was talking about using this one. This is 185,000, but it's absolutely huge. And the majority of the comments said, have I... Ah, you idiot, Frith. I've gone and placed it down by mistake. I double-clicked on it instead of just clicking once. I'm not really sure how I managed to do that, but I've accidentally gone and bought it and dumped it down here, which wasn't actually something that I planned to do. And now it's kind of stuck here. I didn't mean to do I absolutely didn't mean to do this. This was not supposed to happen. But, I mean, now we get an idea of the sizes. This thing is absolutely huge. A lot of people said that they thought this was a little bit too big for our pigs. And I'm starting to believe that, yes, you may be right. So we're going to have to sell this one. Unfortunately, I think we're going to lose a load of money on this now. Because I don't have... The Seasons mod is the only one that allows you to sell stuff like really quickly. 92,500. Oh, that's terrible. Right, yes, sell that one. Okay. I've just lost 90 grand. It just cost me 90 grand. I'll add that back in ready for next week. What I've also done is I've now got a dead patch of ground as well, which is not quite so good. I'm not too concerned about the dead patch. We're going to be putting some more buildings out here anyway, so the dead patch is not really going to affect us that greatly. I'm not really sure what happened there. It was a misclick, but I didn't mean to misclick that badly. So for our next episode, I'm going to add $90,000 back into the account, which is going to put us to a 256, which is roughly where we were anyway. So I will do that, and then we'll be able to do something with it. So let's start this one up here, and we'll start heading up the road, well, up the track, I should say, towards the sell point, and we can sell this right here. I had so many suggestions from you last week for the different maps that you want me to play. Horse aggravation map, that was probably the top suggested map on the list. So that one will definitely be getting shortlisted for a vote. I'm not quite sure when I will do a vote. It's going to be another couple of weeks yet. But I just wanted to sort of recap. Stappenbach is another one that a lot of people wanted. Losberg is another one. And then there's one in the States. Is it Oregon? Is it Oregon Springs? I think it is. It's something like that. I'm not quite sure. That's another one. Quite a few people have suggested some of the new really popular ones by Mapper's Paradise. I have specifically been avoiding the Mapper's Paradise stuff because of how popular it is and the fact it's being played on all the other channels at the moment. So I probably won't be including those, although I am tempted to do a Let's Play on the Welker Farms one. That one does actually look quite interesting. So we could consider doing that. But the other one that I like to do is Under the Hill. And that is, for those of you who are familiar with Sinikadu. Sinikadu has been doing his style of videos. He does a short video, mostly to music. He doesn't talk in them. And they're really entertaining to watch. And his stuff is all based on Under the Hill. And he contacted me asking me if I would consider doing a he actually asked me to consider doing time-lapse on that map, because that map is built specifically for him and then it's released afterwards, and I said yes, I would definitely put it up for a vote. I mean, I do put these things up for a vote. It didn't win the vote, so I'm seriously considering doing a short Let's Play on Under the Hill before I go to the one that we vote for. And then the one that we vote for will be another few months of gameplay that we can put in. But Under the Hill, I'm kind of thinking that we could do 2 or 3 weeks on Under the Hill and have a really good look round it. And I know that it's not everybody's taste because it's a very small map, but there are enough people that would be interested in it. So I'm not going to put it into the vote. I'm thinking that I might, after this one, we'll go to Under the Hill, which is based in Eastern Europe, and we will take a look at that one, and we'll do a few weeks there, just to explore the map and see what it has to offer, because it is a really cool little map, and doing a short Let's Play on there would actually be really good fun. I'd quite enjoy doing that. So that is specifically because Sinikadu has asked me if I would take a look and consider playing the map on this channel, and so yeah, go and take a look at his channel. There is in my if you go to the suggested channels section on my main page, there's I think it's community and then channels, something like that. His channel is one of the suggested channels. His one is one that I think that you should go and take a look at. He does a very unique style of farming simulator videos, and they are absolutely brilliant. They're wonderfully entertaining, little short clip videos, and they're absolutely brilliant. He also does quite a bit of filming of real-life farming that occurs in Eastern Europe where he lives, and again, they look it's really entertaining. He's got some really good stuff there, so I'd urge you to go and take a look. He's almost exclusively farming simulator on his channel, other than the real-life footage that he does. So if you're a big farming simulator fan, that is the place to go. Go and take a look at that one. And yeah, so there's not really a lot else to say about that. I will almost definitely do that after this Let's Play, and then I'm going to go and do some more Let's Playing. We'll be doing the vote, but I'll do the vote on this series, and then we'll go to Under the Hill for a little while, take a look at that, and then we'll move on to the next map. So I will consider the new Welker Farms map. That's I don't know if it's actually been released yet. I think it's up. I think it's still in progress. I'll consider that one as one of the options, because I know there's quite a lot of people that would like to see me using some really big kit in a Let's Play, because I haven't really done that very much, have I? I've sort of looked at some of it, but I haven't really spent a lot of time playing with absolutely massive kit in any of the Let's Plays, and there's quite a few people that are asking me to do that on more and more of a regular basis. So I will definitely include a map somewhere that will let us do that. And then that should keep everybody happy. I should be able to keep the entire audience happy with those few plans. Okay, well, I'm almost definitely not going to keep everybody happy. That is something that I've realized is a physical impossibility, is you just cannot keep everybody happy. It doesn't happen. It's never going to happen. But I'm hoping that enough of you will be happy with my decisions that we can sort of... We'll account for 90% happiness. How's that? We'll aim for 90% happiness, and then we'll sort of go from there. Right. What I'd like to do today is... Well, I'd actually like to get most of this one ploughed up here. I'm going to have a look for the mod that... The Black Sheep modding, a BSM mod, that a lot of you were suggesting for using up by the pigs, and we will go and take a look at that. I will compile the final list of maps ready for a few weeks' time when we do an actual vote on which map we're going to be moving to. Okay, we've got a huge, great big tree stump there. I ought to just move round that one a bit. And I'll lift that one up, and then this is where I get completely, utterly, and hopelessly stuck, isn't it? Let's come back over this way. Oh, I'm stuck again. I'm sort of unsticking a bit and sticking at the same time. But so far, we haven't... I'm quite impressed, I must say. So far, we have not yet gotten so hopelessly stuck that we've had to reset the vehicle. But saying that, I'm starting to think that maybe this is it. Is this... Have we met our match? Is this the point of no return? Are we no longer going to be able to do any more on this one? Oh, no. He's going to free up. So close. There we go. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Right, let's move on over to this side a bit and drop it down there. Like that. And we can continue on our merry. And so we're going to get as much of this done today as we can. And then we need to think about... Well, we'll come up here with a cultivator of some sort. We'll cultivate it up. And then we're going to go and get a potato planter, and we're going to plant some potatoes up here. I'm still not quite sure how we're going to go about doing this. I want to get potatoes planted, but we're going to do a strip up through the middle. How well they're going to harvest, this is the main bit that I'm concerned about. I don't think they're going to harvest very well. I think we're going to really struggle with this. Exactly how we're going to do it. It's something I'm sort of going to have to... think about. I mean, what I think we might do is we're going to use the stuff from the Roper DLC. That's what we're harvesting our potatoes with. It's the trailed Roper potato harvester. We'll use that one, and then we'll sort of go over it, I think. And then if there's like a load of potatoes that we can't harvest because of the unevenness of the ground or something like that, I probably just end up leaving them. I'm not going to worry too much about trying to get every single potato done up here, because before we leave, I would actually like to be able to do another harvest up here. I want to be able to do an arable harvest up on here using the small combine that we've got. The small combine would be absolutely perfect for doing an arable harvest up here. And we can try and get the rake up here as well, and the baler, and we'll see how all of those sort of cope with working this ground up here. I think it's going to be quite interesting, and it's going to be a bit of a challenge as well because of just how uneven the ground is and how close. I'm curious how close we can get to the edge of the plateau as well before anything falls off. I have my suspicions that the combine is going to struggle the most, especially if we put the hired help, the AI vehicle extension. If we have that one running, I suspect that we're going to end up with the combine falling off the side. It's not going to be pretty. It's obviously not something that I want to happen, but I suspect it's going to happen nonetheless. Now, let's just come up round. We've got two great big piles here that we're going to have to get round. We've sort of done that bit all right. If I go over this side of them, we get some of it out. And then, after that, I'm not really sure what we're going to do. Bring that to about there. I am thinking if we were to go and get the JCB back over here, we could probably do a better job of removing most of this if we were to use the JCB. Although saying that, I didn't really seem to have much trouble doing that bit there, did I? Let's go over that again. There we go. See? It sort of works. You've just got to... You've got to want it. That seems to be the key here. You've got to really want it. You've got to really work for it. If you want it enough, it will happen. But you've got to want it enough to make it work. Okay, bring that one forward, and there we go. Just a bit more. And nailed it. Right, so we've done the next little section. I got another huge, great big heap there I want to get through. And if I can get through that bit, I think we are well on our way to complete and total success. So I'm going to bring that one, while I've got the entire heap here, I'll come up over the top and try it this way. Gonna work? Maybe not. It's sort of working. You can sort of do it in settle. No, actually, I think this might work. This might be an interesting way of doing it. If we go to the heap before we've taken any of it off, and then lower it down. Except that I've now got a... Yeah, it's... I'm completely stuck. We try lowering it down again. Right, that's not moving at all. So we're going to try plan B on this one. I'm going to unhitch it there, like that. And now the plough is being forced out that way. That's not a bad thing. We can bring the tractor back over this way, like this. And then we can try hitching it in again, and hopefully it'll pull... It's probably not going to pull the plough forward, though. It's probably going to pull the tractor backwards. You watch. We're going and we'll hitch this one up. There. Yeah, it's pulled the tractor straight back. It didn't like that at all. Try lifting it from there. Oh, no, there we go. Okay, we've gotten over that bit. That means that I can then plough that bit out. I do that. I do need to activate the allow create field. There we go. Now we're talking. I've got a tree stump there that we're going to have to do something with. And we got such a huge pile of wood chips there. I think we're going to have to just leave that bit next to the tree stump. And we'll get the JCB back there in a minute. And we'll do that bit separately. And then we can sort of work our way through it without causing us too much problems. And then we'll do the... It might even be easier if I use the JCB to do some of these big piles of wood chips. Because, I mean, they are that huge that that's kind of what gives us the problem. It's it like gives it an edge of a collision on it. Anyway, we're getting through most of it. Oh, one thing I nearly forgot was my weekly question. And my weekly question is, what sort of map do you want me to play next? And the reason I know that I've been talking about maps, and then I got you all to suggest maps and so on. So what's kind of the point of this question? But really the point of this question is to give me an idea of which maps I should focus on. Because it'll give me an idea of the kind of gameplay that you'd like to see over the next couple of months for the next map. That's excluding the bit that I'll go and do just for a little visit to Under the Hill. So excluding that bit, what sort of gameplay are you after in the next map? And this one we're going to do as a vote so that I can really get a good idea of what it is that people are after. Are you wanting to see mostly arable work? Are you wanting to see mostly animal work? Or are you wanting to see a mixture of the two? And depending on the percentages that I get on the vote and what the answers are for the vote as well will depend on which maps I make as like my final decision for what we go to play on next. Because if I get like 95% of people asking for predominantly arable gameplay for our next Let's Play, then obviously I'm going to I'll only like put in one map that seems to be based around mostly animals rather than arable, because some maps lend themselves so much better to looking after animals than they do to arable gameplay, and vice versa. There are some maps that are far superior for arable gameplay than they are for looking after the animals, because the animals are sort of like an afterthought and they're just stuffed into corners, so there's no real intention by the map creator to have the animals as much of a viable gameplay option. They're kind of just like an added extra that you can go and do if you want to, but you can tell quite clearly from looking at the map that the person who made it designed the map with arable in mind, or designed it with animals in mind. So yeah, what would you like? Would you like mostly arable gameplay? Would you like mostly animal gameplay, animal related gameplay? Or would you like a mixture of the two? It's your vote, it's your game. Head into the comment section down below, let us know which one you want and why, and of course don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right hand corner. Now, some of you will have noticed I did a video over the weekend about a sale over on Chrono. Chronos.gg, which is the one of the gaming websites that I am now affiliated with. There is a link in all of my videos these days to both Chrono and Fanatical. I am affiliated with both. They both sell computer games. They both have very different marketing strategies. And over the weekend, there was an offer on Farming Simulator 17. That offer is no longer on. They only run their offers for 24 hours at a time. There are all sorts of other games coming in later on. Every 24 hours, they put a new game up. So I would urge you, if you do sort of, if you're interested in any game, because they do all kinds of different games. So like I said, the offer that they had for Farming Simulator was for 24 hours only. It's no longer valid. So if you've gone back and you've seen that video today, unfortunately, that's not going to benefit you at all. But keep an eye on Chronos. Go there, just when you watch a video, at the end of the video, just click on the link and just have a quick run in and see what game they've got on offer that day. They only have one each day. That is it. It runs for 24 hours. So you've got 24 hours of when each game is launched, and there is a description about the game. And the thing that is really good with Chronos is that they do really good offers. You are unlikely to... I'm not going to say that you won't find it cheaper anywhere else, but you are unlikely to find the game that they have, their game of the day. You're unlikely to find it cheaper anywhere else on the internet, right? They are that good. They are really, really good at getting you these deals. So you're very unlikely to find it cheaper anywhere else. You might get lucky. You might find it somewhere else cheaper. A lot of these games are huge discounts, absolutely massive discounts. I've been quite surprised. Some of them, they'll have 24 hours where you can get the game for like 70% off. The Farming Simulator one, I've hardly ever seen Farming Simulator on offer anywhere, and they were offering it at 26% off for Steam keys, which I thought was an absolutely fantastic offer. So yeah, unfortunately, to clarify, that offer is no longer valid. You will not find Farming Simulator keys available for sale on their website anymore. That was just the 24 hours after I released the short sale video. I will occasionally release a short sale video for Chronos, and I will occasionally release one for Fanatical. If I do, those will be short, usually under 10-minute videos, just a quick description of the game that they've released and details of the offer that they have. And you will be able to follow the links and you'll be able to go and get it. If I'm advertising anything like that, those offers are available on their websites. You do not have to go and use my links. It's just, I like you to use my links because I get a commission from it. It's a way for you to help support the channel. If you want to go and buy new games, go and have a look at both Fanatical and Chronos and see what they've got on offer. And anything you buy, if you go through my links, I will get a commission. It doesn't cost you anything extra, whether you do it through my links or if you just go to the website directly. It absolutely doesn't cost you a penny more. However, if you do use my links, it does give me a small commission. It's not a big commission, it's a small commission. But it is a commission nonetheless. I do earn an income from doing this. So it is, it's in my interests getting you to go and do this. And also I'm disclosing, full disclosure about me making money out of this so that you can sort of see, well, yes, I am going to advertise it because I make money out of it. At the same time, I have always had a solemn promise here on this channel that I would never try to get you to buy something that I didn't personally think was good myself. And both of these websites I think are absolutely brilliant. Fanatical deal almost exclusively in Steam keys, and they have thousands of games over there. They have offers on all the time on all kinds of games. And if I think the particular offers of a week are going to be of interest to you, I will specifically point them out. But at the same time, it's difficult to keep up to date with the thousands and thousands of games. And they have so many really good offers on them as well. I mean, right now, if you're into Shopkeep 2, and I do a series on Shopkeep 2, if you're interested in that one, there is currently an offer on Shopkeep 2. You get 10% off on Shopkeep 2. Now, that particular offer is also available on Steam itself, but Fanatical sell you Steam keys, so you're getting it for the same price that the current introductory offer onto Shopkeep 2 is available at. and you're also able to support the channel. So if that's a game that you've been thinking about buying, it is currently on offer. And last week, Frostpunk was on offer, and Frostpunk had quite a good offer. Unfortunately, that was no longer on offer, so you're back to full price. And I had to pay full price for that game anyway. I didn't get that one on offer. So yeah, I was a little bit disappointed at that. I paid full price for this game, and then suddenly I'm there. It's like they say to me, "Well, you know it's on offer right now, don't you? You can go and you get your fans to buy the game and get it at a really, really good reduced rate." And I was like, "Yeah, but that's great." And I really do like the fact that I can offer my fans this. But what about me? I didn't get this deal. That's just not fair. So yeah, I ended up paying full price for a game that I then was able to pass on a really cool deal to you guys over. And I just, the irony of it all, I just thought this is terrible, because I'm a YouTuber. The fact of the matter is, gaming YouTubers, we do get an awful lot of games completely free of charge. There's no denying that. I get a lot of games that I play, I get given them free of charge. And I do tell you, whenever I'm playing the game and I get it for free, I will tell you that I get it for free. Frostpunk, I wasn't so lucky. I had to pay full price for Frostpunk, and then immediately after I paid full price for it, I then found out about the offer and thought, you know, if I'd waited 12 hours before buying this game, I could have had like a whole load of money off. But I don't have a crystal ball, and I can't see into the future. I do find out about some of the offers sometimes in advance so that I can prepare videos, but not very many of them. So anyway, there are a whole load of games that you can go and take a look at. There are 2 different websites that you can go and take a look at, and maybe, just maybe, there are offers on one of those websites that really appeals to you. Chrono, they focus specifically on one game every 24 hours, and they really do push to get that game as absolutely cheaply as they possibly can. Now, they do cover a wide variety of genres, so if the game that is currently on offer is not appealing to you, go back in 24 hours and take a look at the next one, because the next one might just really appeal to you. And I've gone on there and I've seen a game that I thought, oh, that's actually really good. I've never heard of the game. It's quite a small indie game. And, you know, instead of paying the usual £10 for it, I could get it for £1. A 90% off offer. And then you go back the following day and you see the game there and you think, oh, I really don't fancy that game. That's not my style. And then you go back the following day and there's another game there and you think, well, that one doesn't look too bad. It's 70% off, and not normally my genre, but I'm looking at this game and I'm thinking this seems quite interesting. And it's 70% off, you know, just for a few pounds, a few dollars, whatever it is, whatever your chosen currency is. It's probably worth a look. It's probably worth a go. So yeah, go and take a look at Chronos, and I would urge you to just go back in there once a day, take a quick look, see if there's anything that tickles your fancy, and you know, if not, then you haven't really wasted a lot of time. But at the same time, I know that there are some of you that do buy quite a lot of computer games. I do myself. Even though I get several free samples because of being a YouTuber, I still buy a lot of games. I still spend quite a bit of money on gaming. Gaming is something I'm very, very passionate about. I love gaming of all kinds. Well, apart from first-person shooters, we had that little foray into me playing Fortnite, and it didn't end well, did it? I'm just not very good at those sorts of games. But yeah, I do play a lot of games, and I do spend far more than I should on games. And I know that there are others out there who are very similar to me. You play an awful lot of games, and you spend your spare cash on games rather than spending it on other things. And so yeah, go and take a look at these. You may be able to get yourself some good deals, and you may be able to get that bit of spare cash that you got to go just a little bit further. And I would urge anybody who is under the age of 18, make sure that such things are okay with your parent or guardian first. I absolutely do not want anybody getting into trouble on my account. Okay, so if there is something there that you like the look of, do not go and buy it and then turn around and say, well, Frithgar told me to. I'm not telling you to. I'm saying go and speak to your parent or guardian first. If you're on a pocket money system, every household does it differently. Make sure you have permission to buy the game if you are under 18 and you are not the person who is in charge of how the money is spent. I do not want anybody getting into trouble on my account, and more importantly, I don't want to get into trouble myself. The last thing I want is an irate person contacting me and saying, why have you told my child to go and buy this game? I didn't say that they could. Yeah, well, I'm saying right now that if you're under 18 and you are not in charge of the purse strings, do not buy anything unless you have asked permission first. Okay, that is an absolute golden rule of buying games. You never buy a game unless you have permission. As otherwise, yeah, all sorts of bad things happen, like being grounded. That could be pretty bad. But worse, far worse than being grounded. You might actually find yourself not being allowed to play precious computer games for a few days because of your transgressions. And you really don't want to do that, so don't take the risk. Don't risk being banned from playing computer games by buying one without first asking permission. Make sure you have full and appropriate permissions before spending any money. I would absolutely urge everybody. Well, I'd actually urge all of my audience to do that, because I know that there are several of you who may get a little carried away and not consult your other half before purchasing a game, and then after you have made said purchase, then think, oh, I ought to tell her really, or I ought to tell him really. And I know that there are those of you out there who have such an honor system. I have such an honor system myself. If I can say, in all honesty, that I'm using the game for work and I need to buy it for work because I'm a YouTuber, I can get away with it. I have an excuse. But she knows full well which games I play on my channel. And if I go to go and buy another game, and without consulting first, and this is something that we do, this is something that me and my wife do, if a game costs less than £5, we can go and buy it, because chances are we're not going to spend a great deal of time playing it anyway, and and less than £5 is alright. If it costs more than £5, then we consult each other first, because she buys some games and I buy quite a few more games than she does, to be honest, but there are other things that she likes to buy as well, and so we have a standard rule in our relationship. If something is going to cost more than £5, we ask the other person first, because there may be a reason that we're unaware of, that we think, well, hang on a minute, actually we've got this bill coming up and we've forgotten about it, and so it's not a good idea to go and spend the money that month. It might be an idea to wait a month and then spend it the following month. It's just a thing that we do in our marriage, and it works very well. So yes, for all of you, don't forget to get permission. If you're going to go and buy a game, if you're going to use the links down below, don't forget to get permission. Now, it may be a really good excuse to say, well, I really wanted to get this game, and by getting this game I can also support Frithgar. That would probably be an excellent argument to make to your other half, who's probably in full support of you watching my channel and listening to my voice drone on in the background all the time. She's probably absolutely loves the sound of it, and I mean, why wouldn't she? Or he, I do tend to generalize here a lot, where I'm assuming that the person watching is a male and has a female other half, mainly because looking at the demographics of my channel, 90% of my viewers are male. So I am making a generalization here for anybody that doesn't fall into these categories. I do apologize, but I also tend to go on my own personal experience, and I am a male with a wife, so I tend to draw on that as well. So just to sort of put this out there, I'm not generalizing completely. I'm tending to base my assumptions on everybody else on me. This is just how I operate. So I'm not trying to offend, not trying to upset. I just thought I'd better just add that bit in. A little disclaimer there for you. So yes, your other half may be absolutely thrilled at the thought of you being able to support me, and at the same time fund your gaming habit with slightly cheaper games. It's a win-win situation. It's got to be. It's absolutely got to be. I have had emails from people who sort of start to think that maybe there are 3 people in their marriage, because I spend so long on, that they hear my voice so much that I'm actually quite familiar to them. And they're not actually married to me, though. They're married to the gentleman that is watching me. I've actually had emails like this. I have. It's strange. It really is. But at the same time, it's very, very cool, because I don't really know what to say to that. I just wanted to share that I have had emails like that, and it's very strange and very bizarre, and also very, very cool at the same time. And there's not really a lot else I can say about that. So yes, you have these. I'm sorry, I've gone on about this the entire episode nearly, and I do apologise for those of you that weren't really interested. There are those links in the description down below. They are now going to be in... I'm not going back and adding these links to the old videos, but there are links to these two websites, Fanatical and Chronos, in the description down below. And they will be in the description down below for every current video that I make whilst I am affiliated with these two websites. And at present, I see no reason why I would become affiliated with anybody other than these two. These two, they both have their very unique selling points. They both sell computer games, which is something I'm very, very much into. Maybe later on I will form a new affiliate partnership with a different website or a different company that sells a different product. But as far as gaming goes, we're covering most of our bases with these two. I'm very pleased with them. I'm very pleased with how they operate and their honesty, and the fact that they are... some of you may recognize Fanatical from their days when I think they were called Bundle Stars. I'm pretty sure it's Bundle Stars or Bundle Star or something along those lines. And then they rebranded themselves. So some of you may remember them from a little while ago when it was Bundle Stars rather than Fanatical. But they are absolutely good. They're brilliant. They're a company that's based in the UK, and they really... They go absolutely on honesty. You know, they do their utmost to get you some really good deals. And if there is a deal on Steam, you will find it on Fanatical as well. If there is a deal on Fanatical, you will not necessarily find it on Steam. Sometimes the deals that Fanatical offer, well, quite often the deals that Fanatical offer are not ones that are available on Steam as well. You will only get them through Fanatical. All of the keys that they sell are fully legitimate and authorized keys. There is no illegitimacy about this whatsoever. And the same with Chronos. And they also deal mostly in Steam keys. I think that they do deal in some other keys as well, but the majority of what they do is through Steam as well. And again, they only deal in legitimate stuff. And to sort of give you an idea of Chronos, there are some very big YouTubers that are associated with Chronos, far, far bigger than I am. And one of the things that Chronos says at the start is, if you work with us, we're picky about who else you can work with. And there is a list of companies that have some slightly shady practices when it comes to procuring Steam keys and things like that. And if you wish to be associated with them, Chronos won't tell you that you can't be associated with them. They're not going to tell me that I'm not allowed to be associated with another company. But what they will do is they'll say, we have a list here of companies that are blacklisted because of their shady practices and the way that they're not entirely honest with their player base. If I was to become associated with any of those, I would immediately lose my partnership with Chronos. They absolutely refuse to take part in any association with these companies that are slightly less than honest. I say slightly less than honest, they're just dishonest. They're rip-off merchants. Fanatical are 100% above board. Chronos have said, yes, they're very happy with Fanatical. And vice versa. Fanatical have said, yes, we're very happy with Chronos. So everybody's happy, everybody's pleased, and we're all in this together, sort of thing. Yeah. Anyway, I will stop talking about those now. We've almost finished our job up here. This was kind of the plan today. I wanted to finish the bit up here. I was talking last week about testing and the testing of tractors and how the old TE20s used to be tested and how they were absolutely hammered through the fields. And the Massey 35, that used to be tested like that as well. I'm pretty sure that other tractors also were tested in this fashion. But I had a really cool comment from somebody last week who said that they own a TE20, one of the traditional classic grey Fergies, and it's in a shed, and they're considering, they've been sort of thinking about restoring this tractor. And, you know, they hadn't actually done anything to it for quite a while. And my story of how the testers used to work and how they used to do things has inspired this person to go back to his restoration project. And I'm really pleased about that. I'm absolutely delighted that that has had such a positive impact. So, maybe when this restoration project is finished, now I will just say a restoration project on a tractor can take years. But maybe when this person has finished their restoration project on their grey Fergie, they may even be able to share some pictures with us through my Twitter or Facebook pages, and if they are able to do that, I will obviously share any pictures that they share, so that you'll be able to take a look at it in all its finished glory. I'm stuck now, aren't I? I've just got this little tiny bit that I wanted to do. There, is that enough? There we go, got it. Perfect. And we'll just go and get that bit there. There we go. Right, so I got that one, and there's a lump over there. We're going to go and get the JCB. We're going to have to do that next time, I think. We'll get the JCB and we will just finish that bit off, because we got the stumps to take out as well. So I was also told, because I was saying, well, how's the testing done these days? It sort of seems a bit of a shame that they don't test machines like this anymore. And so a few other people have pointed out that, well, actually these days, I mean, you think about it, if you've got a tractor that's like 70 grand, that is a big investment. They don't take a tractor like this Challenger and they don't beat it into the ground like that anymore, because they just can't afford to do that. So what they do is it's actually all done through stress testing of individual components and computer testing, and the computers build models of how the different things will work and how they should work and so on and so forth, and each individual component is stress tested. So we'd have a look here, and like those wheels there, they would be stress tested, and the computer would run all kinds of calculation on the types of steel and everything else, and that is how it is really incredibly accurate. It really is, because I sort of thought, well, you know, that's my initial thought was, well, surely that's not really going to work quite as well, but apparently it does. It is highly effective. You've got all of these extra bits on here, even like just the steps here. They will have tested exactly the strength of that steel and how much was needed in order to make it efficient, and the moving parts on there. That, like the pin, just the pin holding that little ram on there, that will have been tested thoroughly, and it would have had all kinds of stress testing done on those pins until they break, and the computer would have run all kinds of calculations on it, and then when that was done, then they would have been able to say that pin on there can withstand this much strain, and so then they're able to do it, and they don't have to beat the entire tractor into the ground in order to test that one pin over there. And it's the same all the way through. Everything on the tractor is thoroughly tested like that. So thank you very much to those people who explained how that now operates. I didn't actually realize that, and it does seem quite fascinating, the amount of work and level of detail that would have to go into being able to test such things. And it's something that I'm going to have a look at more, and some people did provide me with some links of some videos to go and watch, and I haven't had a chance yet, but I will do. Is on my to-do list. Now, my question for this week is, what type of map would you like me to see? What type of map would you like me to do when we move maps? I just want to get an idea of which maps I should concentrate on offering. Do you want predominantly arable gameplay in our next playthrough? Do you want predominantly animal gameplay in our next playthrough, or would you like mostly to be seeing some... Oop, actually got that. Hang on, back a bit. Right, we're going to be working on this in our next episode. But yeah, would you like to see mostly arable, would you like to see mostly animals, or would you like to see a mixture of the two? I can do either or. Either or and. It can be arable, animals, or a mixture of the two. Head into the comment section down below. Let us know which one you want and why. And I said that completely wrong again, didn't I? I'm supposed to say it's your vote, it's your game. This is like my trademark statement at the beginning of the whole thing, and I keep forgetting. I'm very sorry. So, do you want animals, do you want arable, or do you want a mixture of the two? It's your vote, it's your game. Head into the comment section down below, let us know which one you want and why, and of course don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right hand corner. And, right, well I've managed to do that. I've successfully asked you to select which one you want, which is a step forward in the right direction. Oh, we've actually removed the stump. Excellent. Now, which one was it? We had to press, no, not, enable plough is X. There. And then, yeah, allow create fields is the normal allow create fields, which I'm going to want as well. So we can go through and we can rip that bit out. There we go. And then we can move on to the next stump. And I might actually be able to do this stump now, and then we're going to go, because we've run out of time. Look at that. Oh no. It did a bit of it. It's got another bit still to do. What's it going to do? Oh, no, it's done it. It's done it. Ideal. But, yep, that's all we've got time for. So if you've enjoyed the episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.